Hi. Yes, I'm a teacher and I actually just finished back to school night. So for any teachers or parents that are in this panel right now, um, I finished 20 minutes ago. I had two sessions where I was talking to parents about their kids and the learning and the environmental space that we're building in the class, building community, building relationships, ultimately so that we can have better learning. And what Victor just said was really interesting because I want to share a story on this that happened last year when he talked about Google and whether or not it's even appropriate to think about these things now. And I know that we've all used Google search for the last decade. And what you're seeing here is a picture of my wife and I, and we're actually on Komodo Island. We're sitting behind a Komodo dragon. And this was like a very specific moment in our life. And I'm showing this because the way I might think about Komodo dragons might be different than somebody else. And what happened last year is a third grade student, they came up to me with their notebook. We were doing a research project. And she came up to me and she had all these notes about Komodo dragon diets. And I said, wow, this is fantastic. Like you have the diets of the adolescents and the adults, and it's all this fantastic information. Where did you find this? And what she told me was AI told me. And I paused for a moment because eight-year olds don't have access to AI in their classroom. They don't have access to chatbots. So I said, what do you mean AI told you? Like, can you show me? So she brought me her iPad, and right there at the top is what we're probably all familiar with now, is this AI overview. Now, what struck me about that was the entire point of this project was for students to synthesize information across multiple sources. And where in the past we might go to a library or use Pebble Go or Epic, or even Google search, the point is that I read multiple sources, and then in my brain, there's a cognitive event that takes place where I have to piece these pieces of information together to see what overlaps and what doesn't, and ultimately make a judgment about what I think Komodo dragons eat. And the Google AI overview changed all of that. And it wasn't because a child intended for this to happen, it was done through a product update. And this is what I'm finding kind of interesting about how AI is developing in schools is while Victor was talking a little bit about how students are making these decisions